had to take a bath on Connecticut. I can't imagine there was too many people jumping on Purdue when Connecticut, game after game after game, kept covering spreads and winning by double digits. And that you had a spread that was single digits. Didn't make any sense not to play Connecticut last night.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's. I'm sure people were betting them every single game of the tournament. I mean, you bet you ride something until it loses, and
right.
they haven't lost in 2 tournaments. So like it's
you'd be foolish to go against them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the numbers were, or whatever, but I would assume there was an overwhelming amount. I'm sure there was an overwhelming amount of bets on UConn before the tournament started to win the tournament, and probably during the season for them to win the national championship. So, yeah, I don't think it was a real good run probably for the casinos and sports books around the country. That was not the outcome they would have hoped for with UConn winning it all.
Tristan Newton won the mop. He was the most outstanding player. Again, 20 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Cam Spencer was great, 11 points, 8 rebounds. Stephon Castle, 15 points, 5 rebounds. I mentioned Klingon, 11 points, 5 rebounds. A little bit tougher for him against the mountain man that he went up against. Zach Edey, you could have made the argument, and I wouldn't have laughed because I made the argument as well, although I said he's not going to win it. You could have made the argument he was the most outstanding player on a losing team, but they weren't going to give it to a player on a losing team. Edey was unstoppable. He ran out of gas in the end. Not that it would have made a difference, but I thought Matt Painter maybe should have given him a little bit more time to rest. But 37 points, 10 rebounds, couple of blocks for Zach Edey. Again, I don't know about the end. I mean, he's going to play in the NBA. I just don't know how the game translates to what they do in the NBA with their bigs. But, man, what a dominant career playing the old school back to the basket center position. Zach Edey was tremendous. There was 74,423 last night in attendance at State Farm Stadium. We'll know the numbers maybe today, if not tomorrow, as far as the viewership. The game got away in the end, may have lost some of that viewership. I don't know if they're going to be able to top. I don't think they're going to be able to top what the women did in their national championship on Sunday at 18.7 million, the most watched women's basketball game ever. Shout out women. Shout out specifically Caitlin Clark. Clark, if she's not there and a part of this and the big story she became, I think women's basketball certainly has taken a step up, but I can't even imagine what those numbers would be. But they would pale in comparison to what they are. But the bottom line is, those are the numbers. Those are the facts, Jack. And I don't know if the men are going to be able to top 18 million. I don't think so.
It'll probably be tough because, again, it was on TBS and TNT. I think, and they have not. I think there may have been one of the games that was on TBS and not CBS that they have gotten over that number. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that women's championship game, the only things that have beaten that since 2019 are football, World Cup, and Olympics.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's incredible.
Caitlin Clark is if
she's not the sports person of the year, then I don't know who is.
She is a TV. I mean, people they're just a fascination with watching it, and I fully apply to that. Like I've watched more Caitlin Clark basketball games this season than probably combined women's basketball games I've watched in my life on television. Mm-hmm. Like I don't even know how many
I've called a bunch of women's games,
how
but
many other games I've ever watched on television that didn't include Caitlin Clark. It's probably single digits. And Caitlin Clark, I watched double-digit games just this season of her. I mean, she's absolutely amazing, and it'd be interesting to see how that translates to the WNBA. Does what their ratings do in the games that she plays? I'm sure, because I guarantee you that ESPN and all the other anybody that carries WNBA games, they're going to want to put her games on, regardless of how bad her team is or isn't. They're going to put her on television to get the numbers. But yeah, I mean, 18.7. That's a pretty incredible number for a women's basketball game.
We'll talk more about that, the Calipari situation. What will Kentucky do with Connor O'Gara when we return, the senior national columnist for Saturday Down South. We'll get into some spring football as well. Before we do that, I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. They have been with us for years and years. Brandon McCullough, the owner of this company, it is locally owned and operated, not some big conglomerate. Keep the money in the local economy if you can, folks. 901-438-5084 is the number to call. 901-438-5084. Or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing, different plans and options that you can use. A 6, a 12, even an 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket. Again, whatever it takes to get that new roof or that roof repaired. They're part of the Roofs for Troops program. Any veteran, active, or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. This is for residential and commercial roofing, so business owners, property managers, obviously homeowners as well. If you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof. All their work, satisfaction guaranteed. That includes carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing and siding, and install shingles, rotten wood repair, whatever you can't do yourself. Call the experts, quality work at a very reasonable price at Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Again, locally owned and operated. 901-438-5084 or online at newroofmemphis.com. Just underway on a Tuesday. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, this is Maddie Berner, an outfielder for your University of Memphis softball team. Do you like to be rewarded for shopping? Are you looking to transfer your high-interest credit card balances? For a limited time, you can transfer your balance to a Southern Security Rewards Visa and get $2 for each dollar transferred on your balance. Plus, no balance or transfer fees. Don't miss out, apply today. Southern Security is a proud supporter of University of Memphis Athletics and 901 Women. Southern Security, your home team credit union.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good morning. Wrapping up that earlier collision over there at Walnut Grove at Farm Road. It's finally picking up with some volume on Bill Morris Parkway, coming westbound from Riverdale all the way up to 240, coming up through South Haven. Still in pretty good shape right now with that traffic flow on 55 going northbound. A little bit crowded at times southbound. Austin B Highway as you get up on that ramp there to I-40. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:30 the time. Hour number one here on Sports 56 mornings. UConn, national champions of men's basketball for a second straight year. Is it a dynasty? Again, it's hard with basketball, especially in this day and age, changing players the way they change. But this team went from a certain group of players last year losing 3 starters, 2 to the NBA, and they regroup, they reload, and they win another natty. We're going to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about spring football, and we do so with the one and only Connor O'Gara.
It's time to talk some SEC and college football. Joining Greg and Eli is Connor O'Gara from SaturdayDownSouth.com and SaturdayTradition.com. Here's Connor O'Gara with Greg and Eli.
We get to talk with Connor O'Gara every other Tuesday here on the show, senior national columnist for Saturday Down South. He's also host of the Saturday Down South podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at CJ O'Gara. For this specific 2-year run, I don't know what we consider dynasties, but Connor, for 5 or make that 6 national championships in 25 years, that's a dynasty.
Yeah, it is. Like, in any way, you have to put some sort of historical perspective with that and understand that college basketball is so much different than college football or any of these other sports when it comes to declaring that. And you look, I am sitting here telling you as an Indiana grad that if you are treating Indiana as a blue blood but not UConn basketball, I don't even know if we can have a conversation. Like, UConn is better than the blue bloods. They've won more national titles in the 21st century, I think, than all of them combined. Like, it to me is so unbelievably impressive. Don't fact check me on that, by the way. I could be absolutely wrong. That's based entirely on gut. But, I mean, it is remarkable. Like, one of my good friends went to UConn, and some of the text exchanges that we have is just so unfair. It's like he's watching a national championship, guys, and he's not even scared. He was scared for 30 minutes of the Bama game. And then watching this last night, he's like, yeah, we got it. Like, it's all good. In a national championship game in a football stadium with that many people, it's just like, yeah, we're good. I have no concern whatsoever. It sounds like an incredible feeling.
The thing, I guess, the whole blue blood discussion is always interesting in college. It is, if you are once a blue blood, do you get blue blood status for history? And what do you have to do to earn blue blood status? Like, if you weren't a blue blood way back when, can you not earn it? Like, that's, some people act like it was set 30 years ago and that group never changes.
Like Indiana, have they lost it?
Yes, we've lost it. Guys, I'm about to turn 34 years old, okay? And in the time that I have been old enough to go to the bathroom without adult supervision, this Indiana program has been to 1 Elite Eight in my lifetime. Now, it was a national runner-up season. It was a national runner-up season in 2002. I can't remember, Greg, who that team lost to in the championship. I want to say it was a team with a turtle or something. I don't know. But look, that's what we're talking about here. They've been to 1 Elite Eight in the time that I've been alive. Meanwhile, UConn's got 6 national titles in the last quarter century, and there are people like, yeah, are they a blue blood? No, like, this is so. UConn's above blue blood status. Indiana is no longer a blue blood. I even did the most depressing thing ever, which I don't know if you guys have done this as sports fans, but when you realize that your primary rival, that I was watching last night, Purdue, when your primary rival is so much better than you over the course of 2 decades, that is a really humbling feeling. And I had to eat that crow going into the Final Four when Purdue finally made it to a Final Four for the first time since the Jimmy Carter administration. And I'm just sitting here as an Indiana fan, like, what do I got to do? Like, what is life looking like if we are no longer considered that? Because we are not worthy of that at IU, and UConn is just heads and shoulders above the competition.
I agree.
The thing is, like, how has UConn done this? Like, you're in Storrs, Connecticut. Like, you've gone through 3 different coaches, so it's not like you just got one coach who kind of figured it out. It's 3 different coaches who have done. Like, how? Like, I don't even understand it.
Well, it's interesting because I think, everything that has happened with expansion, realignment, whatever you want to call it, has been related to football. Football has been driving this forever. If you want to go back and watch the 30 for 30 on Requiem for the Big East, and you'll see that even their decisions early on were TV-based, and the reason the whole Big East Conference started in the first place was to try and get eyeballs on this region of the country and why the Big East exploded in the way that it did in the 80s, and obviously UConn was part of that. But the reason why they've actually, I think, been able to be this good from a basketball standpoint is they've been true to who they are about being a basketball school. Guys, there's no overlap between basketball blue bloods and football powers. You can have a nice little run if you're a football school, and you can have like 6 or 7 years maybe where you look relevant, but the overlap of those schools, like look at the 6 schools that have made it to 3 Sweet 16s during the 2020s. It's Creighton, we have Alabama that has done this now, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's Houston. It's I'm blanking on who this is. There are 4. Arkansas is one of those schools as well. UCLA is one of those schools. Like schools where basketball is the primary focus, with the exception of Alabama. And UConn has been in this place where it puts all of its resources into basketball. And that's perfectly fine, and I think you're almost better off doing it because the blue bloods in this sport, they don't have traditional football powers, and I think it's impossible to get there.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier, and I said pretty much the same thing. I mean, they put all their emphasis, their finances, their blood, sweat, and tears into basketball, and it's paid off. There's a school like Gonzaga which doesn't have football, so obviously all their resources are going into basketball, and they've had a lot of success as well. We did have the run of Florida, right? We're talking about the last back-to-back national champions. The Florida Gators were pretty darn good in football too, while they were good in basketball. But you have some that are good in both, but maybe not exceptional in both, and we know that. They're the power, the Ohio States, the Texas, and teams like that. But it's not consistently where they're both good. But Connecticut, it makes sense. They're putting all that money into the basketball program. No wonder they make a great run, and they've dominated the way they have. Connor O'Gara joining us, senior national columnist for Saturday Down South and host of the Saturday Down South podcast. Okay, how floored were you about the Cal news?
I was stunned. I mean, I think that we've all accepted this reality that this was going to end and it was just going to be a matter of when. But I thought that he was going to come back, and I thought that they had reached that place, he and Mitch Barnhart, where they had these conversations, and I thought there would be a bit more transparency. And apparently Cal was just, according to Matt Jones, Cal was just floored that there was this upset reaction to losing to Oakland, which just shows you right there the disconnect that he has with Kentucky fans. Like, my brother and his wife live in Lexington. Like, she works at Kentucky. I've talked about this before. I mean, their dog is named Callie, for crying out loud, like after John Calipari. Like, I follow this Kentucky program very closely. And even he, when I was texting my brother on Sunday night, he's like, no way this is happening, right? And to think that Cal willingly left that buyout on the table is such a win for Kentucky. I don't know. It's a nice win for Arkansas because after losing someone like Eric Musselman, who was one of those aforementioned 3 coaches to take his program to, or 6 coaches to take his program to 3 Sweet 16s in the 2020s, like, to lose somebody like him and replace him with Cal is huge for that fan base, and that arena is going to be rocking, which is awesome. But I don't know that Cal was going to adapt at Kentucky, and you need to be able to have older players, and this tournament has shown that if you don't adapt, you have no chance of making a deep run, and I think that they have such a fascinating vacancy, and to see Cal take this job to stay within the conference, it's going to thicken the plot that much more. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely stunned that it happened in the way that it did, and that Kentucky now has this vacancy for the first time in 15 years.
There's a lot of coaches who have already kind of come out and like Dan Hurley says, I'm not going there. All Nate Oates is, everybody seems to be committed where they are, whatever. So what will they be naming their next dog up there?
That's a good. They've been calling her Cal for a while. Really good pup, really really good pup, and they've had her for a while. But like, think about this. Like my brother and his wife moved to Lexington in the summer of 2019, and Kentucky since then has won one SEC tournament game and one NCAA tournament game.
Wow!
I mean, that is wild to think about after the decade that they had in the 2010s. But it's an adapt or die world, and Kentucky has done, unfortunately for them, way more of the latter during this 2020s decade. So yeah, look, Scott Drew, that's not really a good dog name. Drew is, I think, a good dog name in my opinion. If they wanted to go that route, Billy D would make a little bit of sense as well. Though I don't think he wants to get back into college. It's definitely not going to be Dan Hurley, and it appears it's not going to be Nate Oates.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you're talking about a premier coaching job, but you want pressure, you're walking into pressure at Kentucky. As I was talking about earlier in the show before you came on, that when you look at the run by UConn, basically it's 1 out of every 4 years they win a national title. I said every fan base would sign up for that today, with the exception of probably Kentucky, because they probably think they should win 3 every 4 years. So you're walking into a pressure cooker when you go to that job.
I actually don't think that the expectations are that high.
No?
I really don't. I think Kentucky fans have a little bit more self-awareness than they get credit for nationally. I mean, I think making a run to the second weekend and getting to an Elite Eight, like, when they lost in, 19, or they lost to that Luke May shot in the UNC game, where it's like, all right, you lose on a last second play like that. That team was really good. Mm-hmm. I guess that was 18 because they lost to Auburn the following year. But like, those teams were really good. They had a great regular season. They made a nice deep run of the tournament. Like, Kentucky fans were okay with that. They weren't sitting there being like, Cal's got to be, he's on the hot seat now all of a sudden for this. It was the disconnect with the fans, the fact that he still thought that getting players to the NBA was the most important thing. And when you're, let's face it, like 12 years removed from a national title, that's when fans are starting to get a little bit antsy, and understandably so. But I don't think it's necessarily the pressure cooker of you must win a national title in your first 2-3 years there, or else you're going to be on the hot seat.
Well, yeah, I mean, just by what you just said, and I didn't realize it was that bad, but like the fact that since 2019, you're talking like they're not even winning SEC tournaments. Like, and he's lost to a 15 seed and a 14 seed in the NCAA tournament. And it's just now finally this year kind of really got to the point where the fans were kind of like, all right, we need more than this. It wasn't like it's one time. This is a stretch now of 5 years where they've done nothing in the postseason.
And you look at, like, Reed Sheppard is kind of the perfect embodiment for why this John Calipari era had run its course in Lexington. That guy in the first round of the NCAA tournament looked like he was seeing ghosts. And that was your freshman of the year in the SEC, the guy that's, projected to be a top 5 pick in the NBA draft. And he looked like he just picked up a basketball for the first time. You got to get your if you're going to play 18, 19-year-old kids out there, you would better get them mentally ready. And instead, you have Jack Oakey out there just draining threes and pretending like
no cares in the world.
Oh my goodness! Like, no care in the world. Don't care if this one doesn't go down. I'm just going to take 23s in this game. And like, you just saw the different mentality. And Cal, that's why I have reservations about him in Arkansas. It's like, is he still going to be that disciplinarian type guy where one bad shot, you're out of the game? Guys are playing too scared, too afraid to make a mistake. So I think that's why you saw, this thing had run its course. Yeah,
before the tournament started, we all thought Golke would be the shining star in one shining moment, or the shooting star. When I saw that video last night, I'm like, my gosh, nobody even knew who this guy was before the tournament started. All right, before we let you go, final moment or two, anything from spring football that's newsworthy?
Cam Coleman is going to be a thing at Auburn, but it might take a little bit more than what that spring game performance would suggest. The 5-star freshman receiver who won A-Day MVP honors before going off to his high school prom. He is insanely good. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not the passing game is going to be able to line up with his abilities. And if he is going to figure things out early, I think we tend to overlook how difficult it is for true freshman receivers in the SEC to break through, and how difficult that task is, even in a pass-heavy era of the sport. In a place like Auburn that's had one all-SEC receiver in the 21st century, I am not holding my breath on Cam Coleman being an immediate starter that takes over the college football world or anything like that, but I'm glad that Auburn fans feel like they might have something worth watching in the passing game.
All right, good stuff as always. We will get deeper into what's happened in the spring by the time you join us next in a couple of weeks. Most teams will have had their spring games, so we'll do that with Connor in 2 weeks. As always, my friend, thank you so much. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
Thanks, Connor.
This time of our program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Go to BigGreenEgg.com. Get all the information you need. You can see exactly why the Big Green Egg is the best grill there is, and the key, our last grill you'll ever need to buy, because it's got the lifetime warranty. These ceramic grills, they last forever, and they're absolutely unbelievable with the versatility. Whether you're looking to smoke something for 10 hours at 200 degrees, or you're firing it up to cook a steak and want to get that thing up to 650, 700 degrees, or anything in between, you can do it with the Big Green Egg. Plus, they've got all the egg accessories that you could possibly imagine, from their pizza stone to baking equipment to all their sauces and rubs and everything else. They do it all with the Big Green Egg. Again, BigGreenEgg.com, or go to the Ace Hardware locations around town, Hamilton Fireplace, and other places where you can find the Big Green Egg.
Some portal news of importance when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Everyone's getting excited about March Crazy.
Don't you mean madness?
No, crazy. You know, the Crazy Coupe.
The crazy what?
The Crazy Coupe. $71.99 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. Not only do they have the best chicken wings in Memphis, they've got 32 crazy flavors to choose from.
I like to eat.
The Coupe has you covered. 1 juicy Big Burger, 2 crispy chicken tenders, fries or okra, and a drink for $19.99. Want more? How about a Crazy Coupe's Ultimate Family Feast? 4 burgers, 8 crispy chicken tenders, choice of fries or okra, and 4 drinks for less than $70.
Now that's a crazy good price.
I think the wings are so good at the Crazy Coupe, they'll change the games to March Crazy.
That's crazy enough. It just may work. The Crazy Coupe, $71.99 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. Family owned and operated. The Crazy Coupe. You'd be crazy not to visit the Coupe.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay. Of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/CBS to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/CBS and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Is your home screaming for an upgrade? Listen closely because Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing is about to make your day. First up, say goodbye to cold showers and hello to endless hot water with our tankless water heater upgrade. Not only does it save space and energy, but it also keeps the hot water flowing exactly when you need it. And here's the kicker. Switch from your old tank to a sleek, efficient tankless water heater now, and Choate's will hand you a $500 credit. Yep, you heard that right. $500 back in your pocket. But wait, there's more. Clogged drains are a hassle no homeowner wants to deal with. With Choate's special offer, get your drains cleared for just $93 or it's absolutely free. That's our guarantee to make it drain or you don't pay a dime. So why wait? Call Choate's today at 347-8086 or visit us online at choateshvac.com. And remember, Choate's, let our family serve your family.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Little college football news. Friend of the show, Dallin Hayden, the former Christian Brothers High School standout and Ohio State Buckeye, is in the transfer portal. It is official. Last year, redshirted at Ohio State, played in only 3 games. But the year prior, freshman year, got a chance to play, not play a ton, and still rushed for over 500 yards, 553 yards as a freshman in 2022. Had 2 100-yard games. To me, it seemed like he was in line to become one of the top 2 guys, but they went out, Ohio State did, and they were able to bring in Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss and retain Travion Henderson. And to me, when they did that, I saw the writing on the wall. I didn't think that Down was going to be given the opportunity that I think he deserves. They lost 3 other running backs over the course of the last 2 years and lost their running backs coach. So it makes an awful lot of sense for Dallin, who used up his redshirt year last year. You're going to sit behind those 2 guys unless it's some devastating injury or really bad play, ineffectiveness. He probably would not get the opportunity. So I don't know what's in store for him. I do know this: wherever he lands, a coach and a staff's going to get a really good player, and I think he's going to do incredibly well. It's just got to be the right situation for him.
Yeah, hopefully wherever he goes, gets that opportunity to get on the field. Because, I mean, I've seen enough of Dallin Hayden to believe in him. Called many huge games for him when he was at Christian Brothers High School. He's a special talent, and so hopefully wherever he ends up, he gets that opportunity to get on the field and just show exactly what he can do. Yeah,
and I don't know, in this land and world of NIL and what we're talking about here is, he seems such a grounded young man. But certainly all these players deserve their just rewards and certainly are looking to, profit from their blood, sweat, and tears. But I always look at like a situation like that and, having gone to Ohio State, being recruited by the big-time programs, I'm sure there's going to be a number of the big-time programs that line up for his services. I don't know that if that's the direction he'll go in. I mean, my guess would be yes. And I know Memphis right now, with the acquisition of Mario Anderson from South Carolina in the offseason, I think they're pretty set at running back this year with Anderson, Sutton Smith, Jay Ducker, who was redshirted last year, Brandon Thomas. But my gosh, when you look at what Memphis has done over the last 7, 8, 9 years, whatever the case may be, in producing these NFL running backs, to me, to get an opportunity like that makes a lot of sense. But there's so many factors now that go into it, like I said, NIL being one of them.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm sure he'll have plenty of schools interested in him and his talent. So he'll have plenty of options that he should be able to choose from.
Oh, there's no question about it. Grizzlies are back in action tonight. Their first of 4 this week, the final week of the regular season to wrap up this godforsaken season. We've had a few bright moments. Of course, Saturday night and the Marcus All jersey retirement was among them. We've seen the emergence of players like the rookie G.G. Jackson, like Vince Williams Jr. before he got the injury bug. And Brandon Clark, of course, his return, triumphant return, has been a real positive. But we're looking through cracks and crevices to find positives from what has been just a rough year for everybody across the board, especially for the fan base. Tonight, against the Spurs, 11 players are out for the Grizzlies tonight. And 2 are doubtful. Jake LaRavia and Lamar Stevens are doubtful. So 11 players out, 2 doubtful, as they will play the Spurs tonight. I haven't seen a Spurs report. Injury report. I'm assuming Wemby's a go.
I have not looked at theirs. I guess I'm assuming he is, but I do not know that for sure.
Grizzlies at 27-51. They'll play at Cleveland tomorrow. Then the Lakers on Friday at home. The Nuggets on Sunday at home before they wrap it up. The Spurs come in at 19-59. And one other NBA note. This is really cool. Sacramento Kings G League coach Lindsey Harding, I'm sure you're familiar with, will interview for the Charlotte Hornets head coaching job. In her first season as coach of the Stockton Kings of the G League, she was named the league's Coach of the Year and advanced her team to the Western Conference Finals. Charlotte was granted permission on Monday to interview for the job. She's only 39 years of age. She was the number 1 overall pick in the 2007 WNBA draft. She played 9 seasons in the league before joining the Sixers and the Sacramento Kings as a development coach. The Hornets and Coach Steve Clifford, he is moving into the front office after the end of the regular season. I think it's great. I don't think she'll get the gig, but I think it's nice that they're giving her a proper interview.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, she did a fantastic job with Stockton this year, getting that opportunity with their organization to be a head coach, and as obviously good. She was the coach of the year. They were really, really good, and she's certainly well respected in the NBA circles. Mm-hmm. Whether that means she ends up getting a head coaching job at the NBA level, I don't know, but she definitely is well respected in the NBA circles.
All right, when we come back, hour 2 of the program, good news on the Grizzlies FedEx Forum renovation front. We'll talk more about the situation at the University of Kentucky, more about last night's national championship win for UConn and their amazing run. We'll take your calls and texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. We'll have Humdinger's Trivia to start things off, and then a little bit later on in the hour, Jeff Crane will join us from the University of Memphis.
Got a couple of interesting texts that we will get to on a couple of different topics, but some interesting questions to ponder.
All right. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage. There was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-670-5151. That's 1-800-670-5151. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-670-5151. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 Traffic.
Good morning. A car hit a pole over here earlier at Pearson Avenue near Hay Street. It's still a bit heavy at times. 40 west coming past Watkins there at the 101 connector. It's building pretty good out here now in a couple of spots, like 40 coming westbound from Germantown Parkway all the way up to Whitten Road. It's already starting to slow down now on Bill Moore's Parkway, especially coming westbound as you work your way towards Ridgeway, trying to get on there to 240. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:02 the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Tuesday, April 9th, 2024 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 62 degrees. Rain continues. We're looking at locally heavy rainfall, the possibility of some severe weather, although the chances are slim now that it's going to be severe, but it's going to be consistent, I can tell you that. Showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for tonight as well. We're looking at a low of 63, so it will stay pretty much around the same temperature as it is now. Then tomorrow, rain in the forecast once again with a high of 69 degrees. Second hour of the program is brought to you by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers. I'll give you some more particulars on them in just a few moments. But it is Tuesday. You know what that means. Time for Humdinger's Trivia.
That's right. Of course, when it's Tuesday, it also means it's Taco Tuesday over at Humdinger's. Their chicken and fish tacos, just $2 each. That's every Tuesday over at Humdinger's. But if it's not a Tuesday, or if you're not interested in the tacos, of course, there's all kinds of great items on the menu that you'll find over at Humdinger's, of course, located at Poplar and Massey. From their appetizers like the crispy calamari or the wings or the crab cakes or the Humdinger shrimp to their sandwiches and salads or their grilled fish options. So many different grilled fish options that they've got for you. You could look at for the tilapia or the salmon or the mahi-mahi. Maybe throw a little skewer of shrimp on the side as there. Catfish, rainbow trout, all kinds of different options for you to choose from. Very healthy options as well with all those grilled fish. They got some great toppings that you can include. You got some great sides as well. HumdingersRestaurant.com. That's the website. You can check out the entire menu there on the website. You can also get information on catering. If you've got an event that you need catered, they certainly can do that for you. You can get information on the website, or you can just go see them over at Poplar and Massey at Humdingers. If you are the first to answer today's trivia question correctly, well, then you'll get the $25 gift certificate to Humdingers. You can answer via text on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 901-360-8255. 901-360-8255. Text in those answers, and again, the first correct answer gets the $25 gift certificate to Humdingers. If you've won in the last 30 days, you are not eligible to win. And here is today's question. Zach Edey last night, 37 points in the losing effort for Purdue. But before Edey last night, who was the last player to score 30 or more points in an NCAA tournament championship game? Before Zach Edey last night, who was the last player to score 30 or more in a championship game of the NCAA tournament? 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. You can text in those answers, and the first correct answer will get a $25 gift certificate to Humdingers.
And that's in a winning or losing effort by the team.
30 or more points.
30 or more points. Do you remember who the last player was to win the mop that was on a losing team?
Do not know.
Keem Olajuwon. I thought Zach Edey easily could have won it last night. But in this day and age, they weren't going to do that. I don't think you're going to see that too many times, if you see it at all, ever again, as far as a losing team producing the MVP, the MOP, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, certainly you could have given it to Edey, no doubt. I don't think they will ever. It's going to take a monumental effort for that to happen. And by the way, I guess I should say, in a men's tournament championship game.
There you go.
That Caitlin Clark does not qualify. Here, in a men's NCAA tournament championship game. Some text here on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line. Raider Corey did text. He says, can't the Grizzlies just forfeit these final games? This has been the longest season as a Grizzlies fan since their inception. Well, if you look at the injury report, they really are forfeiting the last games.
They're trying.
Although, out of the Spurs, while Wembanyama is healthy, they're not playing really anybody else either. Tonight's game is going to be a doozy. But at least it looks like Wembanyama will play. So at least there is some redeeming quality about tonight's game. But Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Sohan, all those guys are out for the Spurs.
I'm surprised Wembanyama is going to play, but I watched him when they played here earlier in the season, and just watching that guy in warm-ups, and then, of course, in the game, and you look at him, and I know we call him the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. This dude is the French freak with a capital F and a capital F, because he is – I've never seen anything like him. Never.
I mean, the Grizzlies – how many players are we up to now? What is this, 33?
33. I want to say with the Timmy Allen. I said Timmy Smith. Timmy Allen. I think he's 33. Don't quote me. 33
Which
I
believe, I believe, my guess is that the reason.
I believe the children. Oh, sorry.
The reason Timmy Allen got the 10-day contract for this latest one was because he was in town.
He just happened to be in town.
Well, he stayed here after the hustle season wrapped up. And they had to have somebody for the game on Saturday. So I think that's probably why he was the guy, because they could sign him and actually have him in uniform.
Isn't that crazy?
That night, it was a matter of convenience. Oh, we got to have somebody that's actually here. Who off the hustle team is still in town? Timmy's still here. Let's sign Timmy Allen because we need somebody in a Grizzlies uniform for a game tonight. We can't get anybody else here in time.
Is his nickname Tool Time? It's got to be Tool Time, right? So the Grizzlies, with 4 games remaining, 27 wins. Utah's got 29 wins. Utah's lost 12 straight games. Certainly tonight, even with the depleted roster, they have a chance. It's the Spurs. They're bad too. They have less wins than the Grizzlies by 8. They have 19 total. But then you have Cleveland on the road, and Cleveland's battling. You have the Lakers, and you have the Nuggets. And I don't know which players are playing for the Nuggets, how important the 1 seed is. It could be very important for them. I can't imagine after tonight that they have a chance to win any of those other 3. So I think they're safe as far as being in 7th, as far as the 7th from the bottom. Doesn't mean that they'll pick 7th. Obviously, there's a draft lottery. But as far as the odds are concerned, I think that's where they'll be. I don't think they're in jeopardy of dropping, even if they won the game tonight, dropping behind Utah or tying Utah, because they're 2 games behind with those 3 games after tonight, which I don't think are winnable for the Grizzlies, playing at Cleveland, and again, the Lakers and the Nuggets at home to wrap it up.
A couple other texts here. One texter says, in a mock draft, Klingon is 7 and Edey 30. What would you do? And I was looking at another one just a little bit ago, actually, that where Klingon was, I think, 6 and Edey was at 21. Zach Edey is I have no idea what to expect out of him at the NBA level. There are certain things he does, like offensively, where you go, okay, yeah, he's got that little hook shot, which, again, when you're 7'4", that's pretty much impossible to stop. But on the defensive end, I just don't. Because in college, all they do, they guard people and then they have him stand in the middle lane right in front of the rim. Obviously, you can't do that in the NBA. Certain matchups in the NBA, obviously he could be fine. But other matchups, against guys, for instance, Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing center for the Grizzlies, and Zach Edey's trying to guard him. Good night. Because all you do is pull Edey out on the floor, and he has no chance against those guys. So I think he could certainly have an NBA career, but I don't Klingon is more athletic. Klingon is in my mind, without question, the better NBA player of the two.
Well, if Jackson's hitting 40% from 3, it makes it incredibly tough. If he's not, and then he has to try to drive in on Edey does a good job in not fouling, going straight up, just standing up basically on his tippy toes, and then blocking shots. He's really good in reacting, and his stamina, surprisingly, is strong for a guy that plays most of the game, getting up and down the court. And in the NBA, you don't have to do that because you come out for, gobs of periods of time when we all question, why is that guy not back in the game? Well, for whatever reason, they have to sit out a certain amount of time, it seems like. I'm starting to think more and more that even though some look at him as a dinosaur, that Edey can help a team. Now, would I pick him in the top 10? I wouldn't. Would I pick him in the first round? I would. He has changed my opinion, even though the game has changed at the NBA level with the bigs going out and Embiid shooting from the top of the key, and then some of these bigs even being able to go around him. But the way he reacts and how much space he can cover and getting back to block a shot, I don't know. Edey is I am learning to really accept a little bit of his old school in a new school world. I still would take Klingon, but could you imagine, is it even possible if you have a Jaren Jackson Jr., okay, let's forget about the numbers for a second. Playing the 5, playing the 4, playing the center, playing the power forward. He's playing alongside Edey. Edey's going out there and setting screens, and he set screens, my friends. And what did Steven Adams do? He set screens, and he passed the ball incredibly well. And Edey can actually pass the ball okay. He's not bad. Klingon's better, but he can pass the ball right. I'm not saying to pick him, but you could do worse having that guy setting screens, getting rebounds, blocking shots. You don't even want to go down the lane against him. I don't know. I don't know if anybody really, really knows how his game's going to translate until they actually see it. So I have no idea where NBA teams, like what NBA teams are thinking right now. There could be a team or two, Eli, that's thinking, oh gosh, we're going to end up getting like 11th pick or something in the lottery. We're going to take Edey. Or there may not be one. But
I would be shocked if it did.
I would be surprised too, but I'm saying I don't think it's out of the question.
Late into the first, into the 20s, you take it again. If you know, because there's a role. Again, he's not. I just like defensively in the NBA. I think it's going to be a rough go for Zach.
It may be, but he is skilled. He is a skilled
His
big
feet
man.
are slow as hell, though.
Yeah, but he's a skilled. But he covers. All he has to do is lunge, and he covers up so much area. No, I don't think he's a lottery pick. I don't believe so. But all it takes is one team to fall in love with the guy. I think he's going to be in the NBA. He's going to help a team out. I just don't see this guy being some star. I don't see him being Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, some of these other bigs who are stars. And certainly guys that will be in that position for years to come.
Klingen's not those guys. But I think Klingen's way better than Edey.
But he could be. I mean, he could be. He's not as skilled as those guys, but you never know with Klingen.
Ron says I would take Klingen at 7. Yeah, I mean, if Klingen is there when the Grizzlies pick, certainly they have to consider him.
Yes.
And they will. I think they will.
I think they'll go before 7.
There is a. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Grizzlies were to take Klingen.
I think it will have to take them getting lucky in the draft lottery to move up if they're going to get Klingen, Sarr. I think those they're going to be right there in the top 3. Sarr may be number 1 overall, but I think Klingen's going to be 3 or 4. I don't think he'll fall to 7.
Texas says, "Will Edey be better than Hasheem Thabeet?" I mean, it can't be worse.
Oh, come on now.
It's virtually impossible to be worse. So yes, I'll say he's better than Hasheem Thabeet. I'll go on that limb.
Although I won't back down from being one of the many, 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 many people who missed on Thabeet. Absolutely swing and a miss on that one. Not by the organization themselves alone, by a lot of people, including moi. I thought it was the right pick. Boy, was I wrong.
Where did this other one go? By the way, we still do not have a correct answer. In the Humdingers trivia question, the question was before Zach Edey last night with his 37-point performance, who was the last player to score 30 or more in an NCAA tournament championship game, a men's NCAA tournament championship game? Who was the last player to do it before Zach Edey last night scored his 37 points? Got to find this other one.
All right, while you're looking for it, we had Connor O'Gara earlier, and he said that he doesn't believe Billy D wants to leave the NBA. So let's just assume that that's correct, and Billy Donovan's out of the mix. We heard last night, obviously, Dan Hurley talking about staying in Connecticut, and why wouldn't you? We heard about Jay Wright saying thanks, but no thanks. I'm not interested in leaving the broadcast booth. And then we also had Nate Oates. The word came that Nate Oates was not interested. He has a huge buyout anyway. To me, it's starting to look more and more. Now, I don't think he has said anything one way or another. But isn't it starting to look more and more like it's going to end up being Scott Drew?
I certainly think that he will be. Again, he would be one of your top candidates regardless. But yeah, as you look at a lot of these other guys who are saying no or committing to where they are, that yeah, I think Scott Drew would be a great candidate and makes a lot of sense. And he's done an amazing job at Baylor. But
now, if he said no, I don't know where you go.
Baylor's not an easy job, certainly compared to Kentucky. So yeah, right. I think it makes a lot of sense for both sides to possibly go that route.
Yeah, if he said no, again, if they're interested and they approached him and he said no, I don't know where you go from there. People will bring up like Mark Few. Mark Few's not leaving Gonzaga. That guy is synonymous with that program. I can't see him. He's probably had a lot of opportunities to leave. I don't know where else that you would grab. Otzelberger has a huge buyout. I guess if you're as deep-pocketed as some of these schools, it doesn't matter. But he's got like an $18, $19 million buyout. I don't know.
So the text I was that we got, and actually I want to, because this one's an interesting question. I want to wait on this when we have a little bit more time to discuss it. But it's about the UConn and kind of the University of Memphis kind of comparison.
Okay.
So we'll get to that coming up a little bit later on. But it is an interesting kind of thing to think about.
I did want to mention this real quick about the Grizzlies, and this was first reported by our buddy Sam Hardman from the Daily Memphian yesterday, that a new deal has been reached to fully fund the FedEx Forum renovations. That paves the way for a bill to pass the Tennessee General Assembly and complete the public financing for the $550 million for renovations.
We do have a correct answer in the Humdinger's trivia. Actually, I had a few correct answers, but there is one, I believe, that was before the others. So no need for a tiebreaker. Again, the question was before Zach Edey last night with 37 points, who was the last men's player to score 30 or more in an NCAA tournament championship game. You go back to 2018, and he actually came off the bench to do it, which is really impressive. But Dante DiVincenzo with 31 in Villanova's win in 2018. He was the last before last night to have the 30 or more in a championship game. So Dante DiVincenzo is the correct answer. We'll be notifying our winner about how you can get your prize.
Our second hour sponsor each and every day, you know by now, James Gaddis Jewelers, your family's jeweler at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. I've lost count how many years they've been with us. We're so appreciative of James, his family, and that great, great store. And you should be as well, because they treat you like family over there at James Gaddis Jewelers. You're not just another customer. You are part of the family. They're your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. So if you're looking to get engaged this spring or summer, you need, or even in the fall, you need to head over to James Gaddis Jewelers. Make sure that's one of the jewelers you check out, as they have all types of amazing engagement rings. Diamonds that are independently graded and certified. They know there's a lot of competition, so they make sure they have a price point to suit everyone's budget. So I don't know how high they go or how low they go, but you're going to get a varying degree of prices for those beautiful, beautiful rings. Wedding rings, personally designed wedding sets, of course, watches and bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, gemstones of all types, right? Your birthstone, they have them obviously for all 12 months. Check them out today. They got one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry, and they're always adding to their collection. Layaway and financing is available. Family-owned and operated. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. When we come back, we're talking Memphis athletics. We do it every Tuesday with Jeff Crane, Deputy AD. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/CBS to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/CBS and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Take your basketball shooting and passing skills to new levels at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge science and technology and provides instant objective feedback with actual hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching that will help make you the best basketball player on any court. Shoot 360 is utilized by a diverse range of basketball players from NBA to college, high school to aspiring young talents. All skill levels use the Shoot 360 basketball program to learn proper shooting techniques, improve their fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge. Shoot 360 Memphis will be moving soon to a bigger and more convenient location in Cordova. So sign up with them now before the big move June 1st. Shoot 360 Memphis. Call them today at 901-316-5500. That's 901-316-5500. Or visit them at 85 Market Center Drive in Collierville. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still trying to clean up an accident. It's going to be at Fraser at Rangeline Road. Also on Bill Morris Parkway. It's going to be right near Riverdale. The car almost went up underneath the truck over there. A lot of rubbernecking associated with that crash as you come inbound on 385 Bill Morris Parkway at Riverdale. Give yourself extra time out here. It's been pretty busy this morning and active as well with several accidents. A 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
It is Masters Week. Yesterday, Steve Sands from the Golf Channel on NBC joined us. Today, we begin a new golf segment at 9:05 with our friend Mickey Barker, the golf administrator for the city of Memphis. Tomorrow, author Bob Herrig will join us. He's written a book about Tiger Woods. There's a number of books about Tiger Woods, and this one's a little bit different, more recent about Tiger Woods, who will be in the field, and we'll try to, is it tie the record or break the cut record?
Break it.
Break the cut record. So a lot more coming up at 9:05. But right now, it's time to talk some University of Memphis athletics with Jeff Crane.
It's time to talk Memphis Tigers athletics. Joining Greg and Eli is University of Memphis Deputy Athletics Director Jeff Crane. Here's Jeff with Greg and Eli.
We talk Memphis athletics each and every week with Jeff Crane. You can follow him on Twitter at jcrane75. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, guys.
So finally, it's official after, I guess, a few weeks of negotiations that went back and forth, but I think everybody knew it would eventually get done. The new contract for head football coach Ryan Silverfield. I know you guys are very happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely ecstatic. He's just done a tremendous job. And I think one of the biggest takeaways there is that he's done it the right way. He's building the program. He's making long-term decisions. He's doing right by the university, and always stays in such great communication with us related to different things going on in his program. And we're excited to have him continue and win a lot of games for the Tigers.
How much does it mean for an athletic department just when you have stability at those premier coaching spots? Your football coach, men's basketball coach, guys who have been in that position for a while.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think it overall shows the health of the program and the confidence that the university administration and leadership and our supporters have in what we're doing. That ultimately all leads to continuity among our coaching staff and confidence in what they see in the university, and all that is important. In this day and age when there is so much instability in college athletics, any bit of stability that you can get is a difference maker, and no doubt about it. Keeping those key coaches and administrators, etc., in the same spots are a big part of that.
I thought there were some interesting caveats in that contract. I thought it was very unique, although I don't see a lot of details about other contracts with coaches where I can look at those and kind of compare. But to me, it seems like it's one of those deals where, hey, we expect big things from you. So as long as you deliver those big things, you're going to be rewarded for it.
No doubt about it. I mean, a lot of upside in the contract, and trying to put the expectations at a place that we know Coach Silverfield wants the program to be, and where we all expect the program to be. And when those benchmarks are hit, there will be a reward for that. And hoping that creates more continuity. As more games are won. More years are added to the contract. It is very unique, but we felt like that sort of approach was the right approach to try to keep continuity there. I mean, Coach Silverfield's made it very clear that this is where he wants to be, and I think he's been here 9 years. I want to say now. So this is his home too, and he's been a big part of building this program over a period of time. So. Keeping that continuity is a big deal for him as well.
When it comes to the pool for assistant coaches, we have seen around college football now that these Power 5 schools they could steal a head coach from somewhere to basically become position coaches just because of the amount of money that they have to pay assistant coaches. So how difficult, I guess, is it to try and remain at least competitive on the assistant level, but also understand that you just don't have the budget that these Power 5 schools have?
Yeah, I'll say it's more challenging when you hire great assistant coaches like Coach Silverfield has. He's been in a position where we've had several Power 5 programs come after our assistants. We've been fortunate enough to keep some, and others we have not. But I think that's just the nature of the beast. And in this particular case, Coach Silverfield has a salary pool that he manages very closely, and it's a big challenge to try to balance all of that at the end of the day. But I think what assistant coaches have realized, there are lots of opportunities out there, but coming to an opportunity where you can be successful, I think is important, and that's a part of that equation. And I think Memphis brings that to the table. Mm-hmm. But I also think they're looking for some stability, and Coach Silverfield having a contract extension is a big part of us being able to retain assistant coaches as well.
Well, prime example is Lou Esposito, who played for Memphis, came back to become the co-defensive coordinator this season. Defensive line coach, was here for several months. And here comes Big Bad Michigan, the defending national champions, offering. And I'm not sure what the financial package was, but I'm going to guess it's probably 3 or 4 times as much. And even as much as you want to be at a certain place, money does talk a lot of times. So it's kind of tough. But I did see where in the contract, the pool for the assistant coaches has increased. So that makes Memphis at least competitive, right, with its peers. And that's the most important thing, is to be competitive with your peers.
No doubt about it. We are definitely able to be in the marketplace in terms of our peers, and we think among our peers, this is the best job that you're gonna have an opportunity to be, because you're gonna have a chance to win. So that's a big part of it for us, and we're going to continue. This is evolving, as you can imagine, on a very regular basis. So we monitor what's going on in the assistant coach marketplace, and want to continue to put our program in the best possible position to be successful, and putting more resources, frankly, into football is a big part of our future success. So that's why you see what we're doing with Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, and the opportunity to generate new revenue there will automatically feed into our football program. So all part of it.
When you're in today's world, when you're negotiating a contract with a coach or talking on it, is because you guys don't control NIL money. So is NIL and budget like that can that even be really discussed, or is that part of it, or because that's not in your guys' control, it doesn't really come up?
Yeah, I mean, while we're not able to control where the dollars go, or even ultimately, how much comes in to the pool, so to speak, what we are able to control in the state of Tennessee, we can go out and ask for NIL dollars. And I think it's all about how you prioritize that within a department. And if your administration or your university understands the value of NIL and the importance of it, then it's a part of the formula that we use when we're out there talking to donors about how they can help our program. And that's something that we all do on a regular basis. In fact, have a couple of events just this week around NIL and trying to enhance the support there. So, while we can't ultimately dictate the future there, we can definitely make it a priority, which we have.
University of Memphis Deputy Athletics Director Jeff Crane joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines or guest line. You can check them out as obviously Sissy's Log Cabin in East Memphis. So, Jeff, the new commissioner, it's announced, it's Tim Pernetti. I'm not sure. Again, I think maybe we touched on this a little bit last week, if your paths have crossed. But what did you think about the hiring of Tim Pernetti?
I to be honest, haven't had an opportunity to know much about him, but what I read has a lot of experience within an athletics department, which I think is something that's important in this day and age, but also has some outside, some business sort of experience that I think will lend itself well to where our business is today. So, I think the variety of experiences that he has will bring a unique perspective to our conference and will allow us to continue to be aggressive. A conference like the American has got to be aggressive, do things a little bit differently to stay competitive and to stay relevant in this changing marketplace. And I think somebody like Tim will bring that to the table.
What are what things on the conference level are coming up or important? Like, when's your TV deal through?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure the exact end date on that off the top of my head. I don't know, but I will say that we've got some big initiatives happening in college football, for example, which the American has fully embraced. One of those is coach-to-player communication, which we'll start to see out on the field this fall. The use of technology, tablets, etc., on the sidelines. Those are all things that the American has been very aggressive in adopting, and we're looking forward to continuing to find ways to stay on that cutting edge of all sports. But it seems like in football, things are moving very rapidly in the technology space.
Congratulations is in order. I mentioned this yesterday on the show, but congratulations is in order to Matt Reiser and the baseball team as they go down to Rice and they win their first conference road series, sweep their first, I should say, since 2012. It is hard to believe it has been that long, 12 years in the making, but they go down, they get the conference road series sweep. They've gotten it back to 500. They got a game that will be played at Central Arkansas tomorrow, postponed from today, or actually moved to tomorrow. But this weekend they'll be home against UTSA. So right now they're on a nice little run and a good groove they're in for Memphis baseball.
Yeah, we're so excited about where things are with our baseball program, and as we've talked about before, lots of upside there. Coach Reiser and his staff have, it seems like, endless energy, and really know what it takes to get the program to where it needs to go. I mean, he's got a plan. He's got a roadmap. He's not afraid to try some things and do things a little bit differently. And I think he's another one of those that has shown that he's been loyal to the programs where he's been, and that was a big part of what was attractive about him, and we're excited with what he's building here.
Last question for you. I'm sure you've seen it, probably haven't really thought too much of it, but there was a story, I guess it was last week, about the possibility of a super conference that is, I forget whose initiative, but I think, former execs, maybe former ADs, I forget who's involved in this, but we're talking about 10-team divisions or whatever it is. So 80 total teams with 70 of them coming from teams that are already currently in the Power 5, which would leave 10 teams that right now would get in the other division. And then there would be relegation and promotion. Did you see this story?
Yeah, I did. It was fascinating, and I think that shows you the uncertainty that exists out there in the college athletics space. And as crazy an idea as that may seem that we read about, it's almost like anything's possible right now, and so we have to prepare ourselves for what that may be, and that's why we continue to do the things that we can do to control things we can control, and it's investing in our program at a high level. That's keeping our coaches, some the continuity there, like we've talked about. All of those are pieces that will ultimately put us in the best position possible for whatever that future holds. And it's going to be exciting, actually, to see what may happen in the next 2 or 3 years. We do think there's going to be some seismic shifts coming, and we're going to be ready for them.
So you think there's some relevancy to that story?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely worked in other countries and other sports. Create some level of excitement that I think sometimes gets lost in sports when you're just inundated by it all the time. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. It certainly looked good on paper.
He is Jeff Crane, University of Memphis Deputy Athletics Director. You can follow him on Twitter at jcrane75 and listen to him each and every week talking with us right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks so much, guys. Go Tigers, go.
Folks, if you are moving soon, you need to put together a plan for your move. The first step of your plan is about getting the right people. And the best way to go, well, get the professionals. Don't be getting your friends. Get the professionals. Talk to Black Tie Moving. Give them a call at 901-316-6196. Or you could go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis and talk with the folks at Black Tie Moving, and they'll work with you coming up with that plan for your move, fitting 1, your needs, which is important, obviously, and fitting 2, your budget. It's also very important. You do get a no obligation quote up front as well, so you know exactly what it's going to cost, whether you're going across town or across country. It doesn't matter wherever you're headed. the folks at Black Tie Moving are there to help and make sure that move goes as smoothly as possible and take a lot of the stress and worry out of it for you. Again, 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. You got a move coming up. Get the professionals on your side, the professionals from Black Tie Moving.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Hello, Memphians. Wake up each and every Tuesday morning weekly to Cup Club Early Morning Show. Cup Club Early Morning Show each and every Tuesday morning weekly, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here on AM 56. Hosted by former Arkansas State Red Wolves Hall of Fame fullback Ricky Jemison. Enjoy special guest interviews, top sports local, nationally, and Monsters Game Pro Football League updates. Cup Club Early Morning Show right here on AM 56.
You can't say that.
But it's true.
You just made that up.
No, I didn't. You can get to any Central Barbecue location from anywhere in Memphis in 10 minutes, depending on traffic.
You made that up.
Try me.
Bartlett.
The Summer Avenue Central Barbecue.
Germantown.
Not Memphis, but the Poplar location.
South Memphis.
Downtown.
Olive Branch.
Again, not Memphis, but the South Haven Central Barbecue.
I still don't think you say you can get to there any of them in 10 minutes.
Well, that's why it's depending on traffic.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Hernando, Little Rock, and Cleveland, Mississippi specializes in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Don't miss your Grizzlies tonight at 7 p.m. when they host the San Antonio Spurs. Get in on the all-new Starry 3-point ticket deal. You get a ticket to the game, a hot dog, and a Starry soda for just $23. Get ready for a star-studded show by securing your tickets at Grizzlies.com.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So I mentioned earlier the Sam Hardiman story in the Daily Memphian about the new deal being reached to fully fund the FedEx Forum renovations. So now they have to, they have a bill that has to be passed by the Tennessee General Assembly to complete the public financing, but for $550 million in renovations to FedEx Forum. Part of the government officials that were involved in this thing, according to Sam, include State Senator Brent Taylor, State Representative Kevin Vaughn. They helped broker the deal. Brent Taylor said yesterday in a video that was placed on social media, I'm not sure exactly where, but it was out there yesterday, and he said that the Grizzlies could sign a 20-year lease if the renovations are funded. And now, of course, we know that they will be funded. I really didn't think that was going to be a problem. I thought, they would figure this thing out. And according to Sam, I'm going to read directly from the story. The draft agreement tweaks changes already made to how Shelby County's hotel-motel tax is spent, sets up clear conditions for what happens to the hotel-motel tax money after the bonds for the renovated FedEx Forum is paid off. Here is the essence of the deal. When Shelby County collects hotel-motel tax, Memphis Tourism receives 35.75% of the tax revenue first. Shelby County receives up to $11.4 million annually to cover debt on the existing FedEx Forum, the future $550 million in renovations, and the county's current agreement with the Grizzlies to cover operating shortfalls through the end of the current lease. That's the 28-29 NBA season. Again, he's talking about the possibility of a 20-year lease after that. And then it says after that, 25.5% of the remaining revenue goes to Memphis Tourism, which will receive no more than 61.25% of the hotel-motel tax in a year. If, after Memphis Tourism receives its first cut, there is not enough money to fund up $11.4 million worth of debt service at FedEx Forum, Memphis Tourism would give money out of its share to the county to make up the difference between what the county has on hand and the $11.4 million needed. There's some more things in there as well. I know it's a little complicated, and again, great job by Sam, friend of the show. But that's, in essence, what it's all about, finding ways to find that extra funding to get it done. So fingers crossed, everything looks good as far as that is concerned. And that's really, as we talked about when Mayor Strickland, former Mayor Jim Strickland, we first saw and read about the stadium proposal, everybody, even University of Memphis people, knew that it was extremely important as the top priority is to get this thing done for FedEx Forum because, number one, it affects the Tigers, but it certainly affects really the most important entity from a professional sports standpoint in this city by far, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. And they have gotten it done, apparently. So that's good news. Hard work on a lot of people's end.
Yeah, I've always figured they would find a path to getting the money that they needed. It's good that they have, it looks like, figured that out, and was always the plan. Once they kind of got that figured out, that then the Grizzlies would sign a long-term lease as well. So, hopefully this all goes smoothly from here and it's passed without any issues, and we can start working on that building as well.
We haven't seen any of the specs or what the changes will be. We've heard about some of the changes that'll be made, but I don't think we've ever seen any of those renderings. I don't know if there even exist. Do you believe that we will see that once this thing is green lit, that we will kind of know ahead of time what the plan is of what they're going to do exactly with the renovations at FedEx Forum, like we've done with Simmons Bank, Liberty Stadium?
I have no idea if they'll release any renderings. I would think they probably will, but I don't know that for sure that they will.
Okay. Do you have any idea like what's first and what they're, when we first saw the stadium deal or the stadium proposal and people talked about FedEx Forum, it was always, well, they have too many seats upstairs and not enough seats downstairs. And they're going to flip them. Like it's like some easy thing to do without building.
That is not happening.
Right. That is not happening. I mean, how do you do that? First of all, that's what I said. I'm like, really? And I know these people are good, these architects and
they could do that.
Contractors. I know. I know they.
That would cause losing suites, so they're not do that.
No. I know they technically can do it. Although to me, it like boggles the mind trying to figure out like how would that even look like. But there's nothing's going to be affected as far as play. I mean, nothing's delayed. Everything's going to be being done as the season goes on. Correct?
Yeah, they will do the stuff that affects seating during the off seasons, and
right.
they'll do other stuff during the season. A lot of the stuff that's going to be done is out away from the court. It's in the concourses and things like that wouldn't affect any attendance possibility. So yeah, there'll be, it affects obviously the ability to host events during the off season, concerts and other things.
Right.
But they will be able to do it without affecting the seating during the seasons, like with Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, obviously you get a couple of seasons will be affected where they're parts of the stadium will be closed down where people can't sit in it. For FedEx Forum, the plan is, and I think that they will be, without any problems, be able to do it where seating during any season will not be affected. It'll just be, there will be construction zones in the building, but not anywhere where you can't sit.
Last night we saw some great shot making throughout the NCAA tournament. We've seen some great shot making with the men's tournament, with the women's tournament. And I'm not guaranteeing you that if you go to shoot 360, you're going to play in the NCAA tournament and win a national championship. But one thing I will guarantee you is that you're going to be a much better shooter. Shoot 360 Memphis, from preps to pros. This is about the coolest place as you'll ever see. I'm telling you, folks, basketball players looking to perfect their shot, challenge themselves, compete with others, and learn the proper ways to shoot the basketball using modern analytics. That's what it's about. So for you parents out there, grandparents, coaches of teams, this is the place for your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren, your players to go to. But it's also about adults as well. This is the same system that stars like Steph Curry use. It's a revolutionary training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with expert coaching to improve shooting skills. Yes, they use the modern analytics, the modern technology, but the old-school coaching as well. The facility is equipped with advanced shooting machines that provide real-time feedback on shooting accuracy, arc, and depth. Players can track their progress and analyze their performance. Players of all skill levels can benefit from the personalized training programs that they offer. Everything the athlete needs is in the facility. It's recorded and stored in a member's app. You can watch their progress in real time. It's currently Shoot 360 Memphis, located in Collierville, but they are moving to a huge facility, a big space in Cordova, state of the art, and it's opening up on June 1st. So they are taking registration right now for the move to Cordova, which again will open on June 1st. You can go online to Shoot 360 Memphis to sign up, or even better, give them a call at 901-316-5500. That's 901-316-5500. You can also just stop by in Collierville. Go see him at Shoot 360 Memphis. Again, it's something that is unique. I wish it was around when I was young. You want something for your kids, for their birthdays, for something just for the basketball player in your family. Give them a membership to Shoot 360 Memphis. When we come back, hour number 3, we open up with a new weekly golf segment that will will be with us each and every week through the FedEx Cup playoffs. Mickey Barker joins us next. That will open up hour number 3. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Springtime is hot wing time, and time for the ultimate hot wing showdown at the World Championship Hot Wing Contest and Festival. Be there Saturday, April 20th at Memphis River Garden Park on Riverside Drive. See over 60 teams fighting for hot wing supremacy, along with live blues, soul, and rock and roll. All in support of the Ronald McDonald House. It's a sizzling day of fiery flavors, live music, and family fun, and you're invited. It's hot wing time in Memphis. Get your tickets now at worldwingfest.com. This is your delicious chance to make a difference.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get preseason all-in pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Trying to recover on Billmore's Parkway coming inbound right at Riverdale on that earlier collision. It's still pretty slow over here near the 101 connector on 40 going westbound there at Watkins from that earlier crash. I can see a backup on I-40 going eastbound as you get up around the 56-mile marker towards Brownsville on an earlier crash. A little extra time up through there. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 9 o'clock the time. Hour 3 here on Sports 56 mornings, broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. 62 degrees. Got a stormy, rainy day again. 66 we're looking at as a high. Heavy rain is possible tonight. Same deal. Thunderstorms developing overnight. Low of 63, and then rain in the forecast, unfortunately, for tomorrow. Third hour of the program is brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. They're at 6 East Commerce in Hernando, Mississippi. Also, they have stores in Little Rock. They have a store in Cleveland, Mississippi, where it all started for them. Family-owned, operated, local business that specializes in flooring and carpeting. And if it's variety you're looking for, they have it. Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins, again, started this business down in Cleveland. They started in their garage about 8 years ago. And why it's prospering? Because of people like you. You have the faith in them, and they will give you these amazing wholesale prices. So it skips the middleman. So what do they have? They have SPC and WPC vinyls, which are scratch-resistant, waterproof. They have ceramic and porcelain tiles. They have hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, backsplashes for your kitchens and bathrooms, platinum shutters, blinds too. They have so much more. It's an amazing showroom. But what Timmy will do is he will come to you. So you want that free estimate, you want to see the samples, just give them a call. Tell them where you are. They'll set up an appointment, and they will be there. And if you purchase from them, 2-week turnaround, which is unheard of to get that new flooring or whatever it is you're looking for from Jenkins Floors and More. Give them a call, 662-469-9350. Financing is available, or just stop by at 6 East Commerce in Hernando, Mississippi. Well, as promised, it is time for a new golf segment. Let's get it going.
It's time to hit the links and talk some golf. It's Mickey and Friends. Mickey Barker, administrator of golf for the Bluff City, joins Greg and Eli each week. Now, here's Mickey Barker with Greg and Eli.
Oh, I'm excited. It's Masters Week, and I'm excited. You've heard Mickey on with Wolo, and he'll continue to make picks on Wolo's segment, but Mickey Barker is going to be with us each and every week talking about the city of Memphis and the golf courses here and the events that are coming up, and we know there is a plethora of them, and certainly renovations that are going on at Audubon and things of that nature. Mickey, it's great to have you.
Great to be here, Greg, and what a great week to start this. The week of the Masters, it seems like that's when the golf season really starts, and this is a great time to start.
It's almost like we timed it that way, right?
It's almost like that, yes.
All right, so let's give an overview, especially this first week, about what's going on, what's open. There are some people out there that probably don't even know which courses are the city courses. So as the administrator, obviously, you're in charge of all this stuff. Let's just give a quick rundown and a little bit of what's going on at all these courses.
Sure. We have 7 City of Memphis golf courses. We have 4 18-hole golf courses. The 18-hole golf courses would be Galloway, Audubon, Fox Meadows, and Pine Hill. Our 9-hole courses are Overton Park 9, Riverside, and Whitehaven.
There's been a massive, obviously, commitment to golf from the city when you look at the renovations that have happened at this race. Why has there been such that commitment from the city to these golf courses with all of the renovations, everything else that has happened?
Well, I think it started with the administration with Mayor Strickland and now with Mayor Young. They're committed to the Parks Department. A big part of the Parks Department was the golf division. And our Parks Director, Nick Walker, is a golfer. When he first came on board, he and I went to every golf course, and I told him about the plan from 23 years ago of renovating all the courses, and he said, that's something that we need to take on. And the administration was on board with it, and we're not going to completely renovate every golf course, but every course has been touched to some degree throughout the last couple of years and going forward.
You said 23 years ago, so let's say 25 years ago. What type of the amount of rounds that people were playing golf here in the city of Memphis from the city courses compared to what we have now as far as people playing?
Well, they were playing a lot of golf, especially at Galloway. That was one of the busiest golf courses in the state. But when I first saw it in 2001, it was pretty bad. I mean, I don't know if you guys were around then, but
I was.
But it was just basically a really flat golf course and a lot of dirt, but a lot of people played it. And the other courses were not near as busy. Most of the golf was being played at Galloway. Nowadays, all of the courses are busy. The most rounds that I have record of over the last 23 years was 141,000 rounds, and last year we hit 156,000 rounds with 2 golf courses closed.
Wow.
That's impressive.
What
right
would
there.
be the ultimate goal once everything is open? How many rounds per year? Because obviously you're in the business to put out a great product, but to make some money as well.
Right. We want as many people to the city of Memphis and the guests to play our golf courses and to enjoy them. And if we can get to somewhere around 175,000 rounds, I think that would have all 7 courses very busy. And I think it would be sustainable.
What's like, because I don't, people probably have no idea, like a place like Galloway that is extremely busy, like how many rounds a year does a golf course like that do?
Galloway in 2023, they did 56,000 rounds.
56,000?
56,000 rounds, which is a tremendous amount of rounds for a small golf course like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, as the city administrator of golf, you're overseeing everything that's going on at these courses, the renovations that are going on. We'll talk about Audubon in a second, and about getting out there and for people to play. But there's also, aside from just public golf, there's also events that coincide, like the pub links and things of that nature. So you always have events going on as well in every calendar year, while also public golf is happening at your city courses.
That's correct. The biggest thing we want to do is provide golf on a daily basis to the citizens and guests. But we also, in that, we want to provide tournament opportunities, competitive opportunities. Austin Chen was hired a few years ago to be our player development coordinator, to help do clinics and increase our rounds at all of our courses. One of his big tasks was develop a tournament series. And he has done that very well. We play over 1,700 tournament rounds in a calendar year through 13 events. So it's been a real big success. We have players that are below scratch players playing to 25 to 30 handicappers that are playing.
What is the next one of those coming up on the calendar?
The next event coming up will be the qualifier for the Mayor's Cup. The Mayor's Cup is a season-long match play event. We'll have a one-day qualifying event at Fox Meadows. The top 32 qualifiers then will go into match play, and they'll have a month to play their match in each round.
Can anybody try to qualify, Mickey?
Absolutely, yeah. Any caliber player can try to play, try to qualify. If you get in the top 32, you make it into the match play.
So if the 32 qualifying is just that 1 versus 32, it's just a 32-person bracket, right?
That is correct. Yes, the defending champion is always in. So they're playing for 31 spots.
So events like the one you're talking about, pub links, things of that nature. What website, if you have one, I assume you do, should people be going to find out the latest information about what's happening with City Golf?
MemphisPublicLinks.com. That is our website. It has our tournament schedule on there. It has a tab for each of the 7 golf courses. Austin keeps that updated with results from the previous tournaments. The entry forms are there where people can sign up. It's all done online, but MemphisPublicLinks.com.
And we'll also have, if clinics are going to be taking place, a schedule of the clinics. Do people have to, how about, lessons and things like that? People are, they're not going out to the country club. They're not doing the private stuff. They want to go through city golf, play city golf courses, but they want to get better. They want to learn the fundamentals. Do you guys provide those opportunities?
We do, and it has been something we've always done, but now that we're going to have 3 driving ranges, we have a new driving range at the links at Pine Hill, and coming this summer will be a new driving range at Audubon. We will have more opportunity for those lessons. But they can go onto the website, get information about the golf professional there at each course, and pick the one that they want to meet with.
The match play qualifier that you were just talking about, when is that? And is that sign up open right now?
It is open right now. The qualifier will be May 11th.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of some of these courses, and then we'll get into what's going on now as far as renovations are concerned. I know that you just recently had the grand opening of the clubhouse at Pine Hill, which opened up back in 1936, the first integrated course in the city of Memphis, way back in 1962. That course has had a lot of work done on it, and it is a challenging course.
It is a very challenging golf course. It's funny how it worked out by the lay of the land. It's a short front 9, par 34, and then a longer, quite a bit longer back 9, par 36 to a par 70. A lot of fun to play. We added some water there. Mark Messier, who's the architect that helped do Galloway and Whitehaven, came back and redesigned the rebuild there at Pine Hill.
Has history, obviously. Go ahead.
And, of course, you have the new clubhouse there as well that was just open.
Yes, the new clubhouse is fantastic. We just got it opened up a couple weeks ago. Really great location right off of 240 at Mallory. Easy to get to. Has a wonderful view looking over the 9th and 18th greens. Just a fantastic place to hold an event or just go out for a day of golf.
And again, with the history of that course, I remember when I came to Memphis in late 95 and then really started to get the lay of the land in early 96 as I learned about different events. And one name that popped up when it came to golf that was synonymous was Charles Hudson.
Sure.
And the history with him beginning the Mid-South Junior Golf. Are you guys involved with that at all as far as the city is concerned? With any event that deals with the juniors?
We are. Mid-South Junior Golf, started by Charles Hudson back in the 90s, was the precursor to the first tee here in Memphis. So the Tennessee Golf Foundation, which oversees golf in the whole state of Tennessee for the amateur body, basically, they oversee the First Tee Tennessee, and now we have First Tee Tennessee Memphis branch, and they are housed in our clubhouse at Whitehaven, which is great for us. We have a driving range there. They've touched over 2,500 kids in the last few years with First Tee Tennessee. So it is a great youth programming. It develops life skills, not only life skills, but golf skills as well.
Yeah, it's great to have First Tee back in Memphis. There was a little period there where it went away, but and people need to know that it is back, and because it is a great program that they do. Certainly, as you mentioned, not just the golf part of it, but everything else that goes with that. I've talked to various people here recently who have either taken a tour of Audubon or at least been around by there, and everybody says the same thing, that how amazing it looks and all of this thing. So what is the update on Audubon of when that will be reopened and how the renovations are going?
We're looking right now at the first part of August. We don't know exact date, how the summer goes. We were a little bit late. We were about a month late getting grass in the ground, so we didn't get those warm days of good growth. The golf course is in great shape right now. You could play the golf course right now, but it really needs those June, July months to grow in before we get ready to open it.
Does the rain that we've recently had, including today, does that help you?
It does. We, as I was saying a little bit, we were a little bit dry over the winter, so we need some rain. We have irrigation system, obviously, but we need that natural rain.
Has it kind of been everything you expected to this point, the renovation, and what you think it's going to be once it is actually open?
We knew that it was going to be good. I knew Bill Bergen was a great architect, but I'd never worked with him. Once I got to spend a year working with him, he is a phenomenal architect, and he has done some fantastic things with Audubon. It looks nothing like what it used to. It is not like any of our other golf courses. It's going to be a championship level golf course. Now, any level of golfer can play it. We have 4 sets of tees, so there's not a lot of water, not a lot of forced carry, but for your scratch golfer or even your professional golfer, it'll be a true test.
You took me on a tour of that, and it was amazing to me because I was confused. Like, wait, you're telling me over here this is this hole and all that. What are the specs as far as distance and things of that nature? And again, you mentioned not a ton of water, but I know there's some challenging holes that do have a little bit of water. But what is it that's going to make it stand out from what it used to be, other than it being, a lot nicer?
Right. When you think about Audubon playing it before, you thought about a pretty flat golf course. You didn't think about much undulation. Well, Bill was able to take the topography that we had, and now it's a very undulating golf course. You stand on places and you're looking straight uphill into some greens, and it was really amazing transformation that he made. The golf course is going to be a little over 7,000 yards from the back tees, par 71. Really, really good golf course. Lots of bunkers, a lot more bunkers than we have at any of our other golf courses. The greens will be very undulating, especially, we have some slope in some of our greens, but nothing like these.
When do you decide, and how do you decide on how fast you're going to roll the greens? It's a public course, so obviously you don't want to make it like a country club where it's incredibly challenging or you'll have people backed up all day long. But how do you decide on those things?
Well, it really depends on the time of year. If we have any major tournaments coming up, day in and day out, we would love for our greens. Everybody talks about the stimp meter. We don't do a lot of stimp meter testing, but if we can keep them somewhere between 9.5 and 11, somewhere in that range, I think that's perfect for your regular golfers.
And the other good thing with with Audubon is the range. You actually have a range, which is city courses. There hasn't been the room in most of these places to do that.
That is correct. We have a state-of-the-art driving range right there on Cherry Road, right behind the Botanic Garden. It has lights. It has synthetic turf across the back. It has 2 major grass tees that are Tahoma 31 grass. It is as good a driving range as you'll find anywhere at a golf course, especially a public golf course.
So the goal there as well is to have a nice new clubhouse, but right now, what are the plans as far as that's concerned?
There are plans for a clubhouse. That's something that we're working through, and over the next couple of years that we'll work through the clubhouse. We're bringing we purchased a temporary clubhouse trailer for Pine Hill that we use there. We're in the process of moving it over in the next few days, and we'll have a parking lot going in off of Cherry Road within the next month or so, and then we'll set up our temporary trailer there, and we'll work out of that for a couple of years.
Okay, so everything will be in that area right off Cherry Road, as opposed to, people who are familiar with Audubon know exactly where he used to go.
That's correct. The old clubhouse and cart barn have become the maintenance facility. We now have a state-of-the-art maintenance facility, room to get everything under one roof and some offices there. And it will also be part of our turn shack. The turn shack will be after number 12 instead of number 9, but we'll still offer hamburgers and hot dogs and restrooms there at the old clubhouse area.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, the thing, too, that I don't think a lot of people I've talked to them or whatever, heard them, like, don't understand. Like, this isn't just the same golf course updated. This is like the order of everything.
Right, it's all different.
Completely changed. This is not the old Audubon whatsoever.
That is correct. Some of the holes have the same corridor. But it won't be the same hole. Like number 7, for instance, is now number 10. It is a par 5. It's much longer. Now it has some bunkers. It doesn't have the concrete swale in the middle of the fairway. It's a totally different golf course. And now holes 4 through 9 are on the east side of Cherry Road, and they are just fantastic, brand new golf holes that you're really going to enjoy when you get out there.
Mickey Barker joining us in studio. He's the golf administrator for the city of Memphis, a new segment that will have all spring and summer long, all the way through the FedEx Cup playoffs. You can follow Mickey on Twitter at MickeyBarker1, and he's not just a golf administrator. This guy is a Hall of Fame golfer, a Lipscomb University Hall of Famer who was the team MVP and was selected All-Tennessee all 4 years, so he knows the game of golf. What's the next big renovation plan? Do you have it yet?
We don't have a plan as of yet. There's always capital improvement that will go from year to year as we're awarded that through the city. We have some upgrades that we would like to make at some of the other golf courses, some irrigation systems that need to be upgraded and to bring them up to standard. So there are some plans. We don't know exactly what those plans are after we complete Audubon and the clubhouse there.
So what's your pick? Who's your pick for the Masters?
I don't think you could not pick Scotty Scheffler.
He seems to be pretty good.
He is pretty good. I don't think that he's quite to the level of Tiger versus the field that we had back in his heyday, but he's pretty close. So I would have to pick Scheffler, although Jordan Spieth is hard to pass on at Augusta.
It's crazy because I think Scheffler's in the right now betting like plus.
He's plus 325.
Which is, it's crazy to think you'd be that low. But somebody was telling me the other day that Tiger at one point got to minus odds. Like he was literally like minus 125 one year to win the Masters, which is just insane that you're that like literally minus odds to go win a major golf tournament.
They were encouraging you not to bet him. I mean, that's what Vegas was saying. Don't bet because they were scared that he was just going to win. Everybody was going to bet him. They're going to lose money. But obviously, there's the sentimental pick of McIlroy. Can he get this career slam? Can he win at Augusta? We've watched him where he's been in contention and then blew it, putting it in the cabins on 10, teeing off in the final round. I forget what year it was. Does McIlroy have some magic there, or you just think it's just never going to happen for him there?
I think it probably will happen for him. He is too talented. He drives the ball so well, and it's a driver's golf course. I think he will win. It may not be this year, but I think he will.
All right, so once again, for folks who need information on clinics, they need information on how to register for tournaments, but also just to go and book a tee time and things of that nature at any of these courses that we've talked about in the city of Memphis, where do they have to go?
MemphisPublicLinks.com. That gets them any information they want. They can make tee times right there for any of the 7 golf courses. And my phone number and email are on that website, so if they want to get in touch with me as well, I can help them out.
Mickey, I look forward to talking with you each and every week. Thank you so much.
All right, Greg.
We're going to have special guests as well throughout the time period with Mickey on every Tuesday right here on Sports 56 Mornings. In the meantime, I want to tell you about Crazy Coop. I hope you took advantage last night for the national championship game of ordering some delicious hot wings from the Crazy Coop, bringing them home, enjoying that while you watched Connecticut win their second straight national championship. If you didn't, well, that's okay. You could head on over there for lunch today, for dinner tonight, or anytime. It's always a good time for the best wings in the city of Memphis. Why are they the best? Those 27 amazing chicken wing seasonings that they put on their chicken wings. Their whole wings, their party wings, their boneless wings. They also have delicious, big, juicy chicken tenders. But those chicken wing seasonings, like the mango habanero, the sweet taste of mango followed by the heat, or the sweet maple bourbon, taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. The buffalo ranch, the perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick to it. That's what they have to offer at the Crazy Coop. Plus, catfish sandwiches, hamburgers, all the great sides like fried okra, green tomatoes, fried dill pickles, all available at the Crazy Coop at $71.99. Highway 64, it's between Appling and Kirby Whitten in the Wolf Chase area. Ask them about their specials. They got specials every single day. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and they will cater. You have a little corporate outing going on, a family reunion, have the Crazy Coop cater your event. It's the Crazy Coop. $71.99, Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby Whitten. You've tried the rest, try the best. The Crazy Coop.
Mickey, there was somebody texting, and I'm not sure what they're referring to, but they say, will there be a par 3 practice course? I say I saw one on a map.
We do. We have a 6-hole short course there at Audubon. It's at the corner of Southern and Cherry. It's fantastic little, longest hole's 80 yards, 6 holes, and it's a lot of fun to play. We've already given a couple clinics out there, and it is just going to be a lot of fun.
It's always nice to give people options, and that's an option for you guys as well. All right, thank you, Mickey. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with more. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You can't say that.
But it's true.
You just made that up.
No, I didn't. You can get to any Central Barbecue location from anywhere in Memphis in 10 minutes, depending on traffic.
You made that up.
Try me.
Bartlett.
The Summer Avenue Central Barbecue.
Germantown.
Not Memphis, but the popular location.
South Memphis.
Downtown.
Olive Branch.
Again, not Memphis, but the South Haven Central Barbecue.
I still don't think you say you can get to there, any of them, in 10 minutes.
Well, that's why it's depending on traffic.
I have so many people tell me they hear my ads on this station and that they want to know if I'm really as bad a golfer as everyone says. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. And yes, I hate to say I am. I wish I were in my 90s because I could then tell people I shoot my age. But being a bad golfer is not terrible because I devote so much of my time to selling homes to keep my clients happy. Over the many years in the real estate business, I developed a highly successful strategic marketing program, not merely a listing program. Using preparation, presentation, and proper pricing, it works. If you're thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. That's Shell Dunn Rosengarten, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now. Shell Dunn, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town. Open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town. Grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
Don't miss your Grizzlies tonight at 7 p.m. when they host the San Antonio Spurs. Get in on the all-new Starry 3-point ticket deal. You get a ticket to the game, a hot dog, and a Starry soda for just $23. Get ready for a star-studded show by securing your tickets at Grizzlies.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back here. 9:28 the time in the Family Leisure Studios on a rainy Tuesday here in the Mid-South. At least the weather cooperated yesterday for the Clips. Everybody was able to see that. And now we'll deal with rain for a few days.
Do you know what the forecast is for the Masters? By any chance, have you looked?
Well, Steve Sands said there was supposed to be rain on Thursday, and then the rest of the week was supposed to be fine. So I'm going to stick with him.
I forget what he said. Thank you.
Had this text from earlier that I wanted to get to. I'm talking about UConn, of course, winning the national championship again last night. They've won back-to-back titles. And a texter texted, says, Memphis has wasted money chasing the football dream while UConn figured out what they were. So if Memphis had the option at that time and basically would have given up on football, went and joined the Big East, went independent of their football program, just pretty much let it dangle in the wind, a horrendous program of just, they did have the bowl game, not this past season, but the year before that. But other than that, UConn football has been a complete and utter train wreck. Mm-hmm. Again, you're not even in a conference with it. It's just mishmash of a schedule and that. But your basketball team is, well, right now, the best in the country, winning national championships like that. I wonder how that would play in Memphis. Like, obviously, the people would love the basketball part of it, but if you just had a football program that was just basically utterly useless, how does that overall play in this city, I wonder?
I'm from the Northeast. I'm not from Connecticut. But growing up, it was all about professional sports, and we certainly loved college basketball. There wasn't much, even though we had the Sixers in Philly and the Knicks, the Nets were in the ABA when I grew up, and then they moved over. But it was more about college basketball, the Big Five in Philadelphia and things of that nature. And then you always knew as a kid growing up, there was Tobacco Road and there was North Carolina and all that stuff. But it was all about pro football. It wasn't about college football, except for Penn State. Penn State was different, but it was hours and hours away from where I grew up. So for UConn, I can understand the emphasis on basketball. You get the New York City kids. You have money in that area of the country to put into that program, and that's where they hung their hat on being successful. I don't know if anybody thought they would be this successful. Now, remember, it's all happened in the last 25 years that they've had this kind of success. But you're right, the football program, which has been independent, virtually non-existent. And we know how tough it is for schools to have ultimate success doing both. There are some that have had success, certainly, that have won championships in both. But it's not the easiest thing to do, right? It's usually one or the other. For so many years, Alabama's all about football. Basketball's starting to make some and starting to get there, starting to make a little dent into it, but it's still football's king. You saw Florida in that run where they're winning natties in football and then went back-to-back in basketball. It's possible, but those are schools, obviously, that have a lot of money. For Memphis, I'm so grateful that they have football because I love football. If they had gone in that direction, could they have been a sort of a Connecticut or maybe what a Gonzaga is now? I think they could have. I'm not saying they'd win 6 national championships or even 1 national championship, but could they have become that type of program? Yes. But here's the thing. Memphis is still considered a top 30 basketball program, and now we're seeing the football program, well, certainly not Alabama or Ohio State or Oklahoma, but a 10-win season. They were in the Cotton Bowls, everybody knows, a few years ago. This year is the talk about hopefully winning the conference championship and maybe being in the 12-team playoff. So I like it the way it is. It's just taken a long time for them to commit to football. I don't think that football's improvement has meant that the basketball's taken a step backwards. It's just basketball, for whatever reason. This was bad luck, bad moves that were made this year with personnel that were brought in. But I still think it's possible to have ultimate success in basketball and have a very good football program that continually goes to bowl games. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like it that way. I would hate to see that. I think those days of the chatter about the football program going away are gone. But the person's point is a good point. I think back in the day, if they committed all their resources, probably they could be in that ilk. I'm not saying Connecticut, but kind of like what Gonzaga is. They certainly could be that way. But I don't know. We're in a football heavy. I know we're a hoop city, but we're also in a basketball heavy area of the country. The southeastern portion of the country loves their football as well, and that's why I think it's important, integral to have both sports, and hopefully both sports doing well at the same time.
And I know there are a lot of fans who are just Memphis basketball fans or maybe just Memphis football fans, but if you are a supporter of both, I mean, you're alumni or whatever, would you have been willing basically to sacrifice the football program? Again, you would still have it. It just isn't. I mean, you're literally not competing for anything. Again, we're just saying that if you did the same thing as UConn, so your football would be independent. Would you have been basically willing to sacrifice the football program if it meant winning national championships in basketball? And do you agree that this texter says that they wasted money chasing the football dream? Do you believe that they have wasted money on the football program?
What's the football dream? Like, what is the dream? Because ultimately you can't win a natty. I mean, that's not happening. But
my guess would be their thing that would be the dream. And again, I don't know, but I would say they're probably talking about chasing the dream of getting into a power conference and all of that.
No, because you just heard Jeff Crane on the show talking about he still believes that there's going to be a lot of upheaval and that Memphis is, they still believe that. And it's not just lip service. They believe. Now, I don't know if it'll ever happen. But it's not lip service.
Again, that would just be chasing a dream that may never happen.
I think again, that's just my opinion, that I think it's going to be extremely hard but if you go to this 80-team super conference and there's 10 that you're going to add to it, you want to be one of those 10. Obviously, if you don't have football or don't commit to football, you have no chance to be in that. So I would say you continue to always strive to reach that goal. Yes, you do continue to dream the dream. But I guess what we're talking about is like kind of in the late, they had the big upset win over Tennessee. They had the huge upset which stunned the college football world, beating Peyton and company. But other than that, until D'Angelo, man, they were a bad foot. And I was right involved in that thing. I was doing the coaches shows with Rip Shearer and then early Tommy, and man, it wasn't good. I mean, so like at that time, it was like almost like they were sacrificing a bit. There wasn't a lot of money being put in the football program, while basketball still was basketball. They were always going to make runs. But then they hit the end of Larry Finch, the Tick, Johnny Jones thing until Calipari came, and then they got it rolling. And then they hit some hard times again, and you know where we are right now. So basketball has always had those little pockets of greatness and then pockets where they've struggled. Football now seems to be very consistent, but this is, you're not going much higher unless you are now going to be that team, that one chance you get in the group of 5 to be a part of the 12-team playoff. but the playoffs going to change to 14. Eventually it'll change to 16. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised one day if it's 32. I don't know. Maybe this super conference would happen. So why not continue to put an investment into it? I think the ship has sailed as far as like that talk, which I don't think was ever serious about dropping the football program. But again, to just answer this person's text, which is a very interesting text, I think, yeah, probably if they had committed all their resources to being sort of like what UConn is or Gonzaga is, that, yeah, they probably would have had a lot of success. But they've also had a lot of success while having a football program with the basketball. They've had the success. They've been in national championship games. There's a lot of programs out there, conferences, that can't say they were.
UConn had success with football and basketball too, and still just decided to. I mean, their football team went to the Orange Bowl, and stuff like that. UConn had success in football while their basketball was being good, and still, just a few years ago, made the decision of we don't really care about football. We're just going to go to the Big East, let our football become independent, and put everything towards basketball. And again, now they've won back-to-back championships.
Well, their football, correct me if I'm wrong, weren't they for years and years they were 1AA? And I don't know how long they've been 1A. Zach, can you look that up, how long Connecticut's had a 1A football program? And the Orange Bowl thing was that was a very short stint of that kind of success. But you're right, they did.
Well, again, Memphis had one Cotton Bowl. You act like that. They've had one success.
Well, yeah, but now they've finally started to put the resources into football, even though some would say they still need more, right, to compete in the NIL. But it's been a run of the last decade. I mean, that's sustained consistency. Now, some people would say, well, the 6-6 seasons, it was just a bowl game. But for a long time, Memphis wasn't going to a bowl game. Now, granted, they had really good seasons when there was only a limited amount of bowl games. We talked to Doc Holliday about that, right? There wasn't a million bowl games that you were going to. So they didn't win 8 games and not go to a bowl game.
It was a Fiesta Bowl, by the way, not an Orange Bowl.
Okay, they had that one really good year. But I don't know. Connecticut got really weird with their whole athletic department, the lawsuits that were going, everything that was happening. It was just weird. But for some reason, basketball has been unbelievable, not only being consistent, unbelievably good. I mean, the run that they're on is just, you wonder if they do have deep-pocketed resources there for that basketball program. But, it started back in the day with Calhoun. I'm sure they didn't have tons of money when Calhoun was able to get those recruits in, probably most of them from the Northeast, I'm guessing, and, New York kids, get them to come to stores, play basketball, and have the success they did in the Big East, and the rest is history.
Raider Corey says, as an alum, I would sacrifice, no question. The results matter, and we have none.
So he would sacrifice the football program, the pulling of the plug of the football program for 6 national championships, or are we talking about 1 national championship?
Well, they've won 2, so they didn't leave the AAC that long ago. I mean, we're talking about a decision that was made 4 years ago. And they've won 2 national championships. My thing would be, when UConn did it, if they would have presented Memphis with that same thing and the same again.
Yeah, but
would you have been willing to do that at that point? Say, listen, you know what? Yes, we will sacrifice the football program, even if I tell you up front, it's going to mean ultimate success for your basketball program. Would you have said, yeah, I'm willing to let our football program waste away in the wind if I know we're winning championships in basketball?
Right, I understand what you're saying, but you're also assuming that they've sacrificed. Because they've sacrificed, then they've been an independent and whatever, and it doesn't seem like they've put a lot in the football program, that everything they've put into is the basketball, and that's why it resulted in these national championships. Maybe it was just the fact that they've got good coaches, that those coaches were able to recruit. Those players wanted to play there for whatever the reason is. Again, there's not a ton of really good basketball programs up in the Northeast. St. John's had that run for a long time. Georgetown, if you go down into the the Atlantic, what am I trying to say? Atlantic area of the Eastern Seaboard, they had their success, but they have been inept for years now. But you have that consistency of Connecticut being right there. I mean, again, they go in, I'm sure. Now, they're a national brand now. They recruit nationally. I understand that. But I'm talking about in the early days, and I don't know this for fact, but I'm guessing that Calhoun was able to get a lot of those players from the New York, New Jersey area where there was a plethora of those players and had that success. But it doesn't mean just because they went a little bit off the beaten path and didn't put the resources into football that all of a sudden that's the only reason why they had the success in basketball. Maybe it was.
I'm not saying it is. What I'm saying is if I told you the results were going to be the exact same of what UConn has done, would you have made that trade?
Yeah. I
would you have left the AAC for the Big East like UConn did, given the opportunity? If I told you right now, the results will be exactly this. You'll have championships in basketball, but your football program will be an epic disaster that nobody cares about.
Oh, yeah. I think most, especially the alums, right, that care, that they have a vested interest, they're going to say yes. Not me. I wouldn't. I want football. I want football and basketball. I want both of those sports. I wouldn't go, if I was, I cover the sports. I would hate the fact that if Memphis didn't have football and I couldn't cover football, or if I went to Memphis, if I was a student at Memphis, I would hate the fact that they didn't have a football team.
Well, they do have a football team.
Again, I'm talking about your scenario.
They would have a football team.
Yeah, I'm talking about one with a little bit of life to it. I would not want that. I would not want a team that dropped into 1AA or something like Georgetown has, or any of those 1AA schools where they play Division I basketball. Obviously, there's a lot more schools, but at one point Georgetown played it at a high level. I'm just using them as an example. Villanova's another one. Villanova's had really good football off and on in 1AA. Nobody cares. I don't even know how many people they get to go to those games. I know their famous alum is Howie Long and all that, but it's all about basketball at Villanova. Would I be willing to do that? Probably not, because I want to see, and we don't see big-time opponents, obviously, all the time in the American, but Memphis plays Florida State next year. That's what I'd be excited to see. I wouldn't want to give that up.
One text says, hell no. I like being competitive in both. I'm a football guy first. The Final Four in San Antonio and the Cotton Bowl are my two favorite sports moments to attend. Memphis, given their limited resources, are one of the best at doing both. Another one, Matt says, hell no, I wouldn't do it. Our football program has reached levels seen before. I would not.
Never seen before?
I'm supposed to say never, I think, seen before. I would not give that up.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But I can understand people that would, especially if they're more into basketball and you're guaranteed 6 national championships. I could see people saying yes, but I'm with these last two guys, I would be no.
Well, you wouldn't be guaranteed 6. Good. Guaranteed 2. Okay,
you're just guaranteeing the 2, but I think people would take that as well. I mean, we've talked about the whole sacrifice thing. Like, what did we say? Was it the Grizzlies? Would you take a? No, it was the Tigers. It was Tigers basketball. Like, would you take a national championship and then 10 years of disastrous basketball, like just really bad basketball? And I think most people would. Right now, though, with Connecticut, after this latest championship last night, they're basically averaging. It's 6-25, but they're basically averaging a national championship every 4 years. Every 4 years, for goodness sakes. That's amazing.
And the original text says, he texts back, he says, my point is the AAC is a basketball killer. Look at Wichita State and Temple.
Yeah, but the AAC is a sports killer, because you're not really included with the big boys. But now you do have, and you did with the switch to the 14 playoff, you had a chance. Cincinnati was able to get in there, but it's few and far between. Now with the 12-teamer, you know that one is guaranteed from the group of 5. At least there's an invite to the big boy table.
It is interesting.
At least it's part of the equation.
That point when taking it towards you, because UConn won the championship their first year in the AAC, and then the rest of the time they were in the AAC, they didn't do really anything. Now, is that because they were in the AAC? I don't know. But if you look at it, they win the national championship first year of the AAC. Rest of the time they're in the AAC, they don't really do anything. They make this decision, you know what? screw that. We're getting back to our roots of the Big East.
Right.
We don't care about our football program. It's going to make it independent. We're going to do this and get into a basketball-only conference. And now they have won back-to-back championships. So it is interesting the way it worked out. Again, maybe there's some coincidence to that or whatever, but the fact that they, while in the ACC, after that first year, they did nothing, and then as soon as they got out of it, now they start winning national championships.
Well, maybe they've also made unbelievable hires at head coach. You look at Villanova right now. Villanova was okay this year. Villanova didn't get in the tournament, did they? They make the NCAA tournament?
No. Or, yeah, they did. I think they were in, weren't they?
They did? But even if they did, they weren't as strong. Now, this coach, they have a lot of confidence in that he'll be able to get the recruits that Jay Wright did. But that's a very similar situation, as I talked about. Football's 1AA. I think they still have football. And basketball is the power. They put most of their emphasis on the basketball program. They had Riley Massimino, then a big void, and they had Jay Wright. Well, Connecticut, with Jim Calhoun, Kevin Ollie, and Dan Hurley, maybe they've just made these unbelievable.
I know, but Kevin Ollie was the coach. They won the championship, and then again, the rest of the time in the AAC, he was still. They didn't have a different coach in there. He didn't do anything.
Well, maybe he was. I give him the credit because he won a national championship, and you can't take that away. And he was a great player there as well. But maybe he rode. He followed Hurley. He followed Calhoun, right? Maybe he rode the coattails of Calhoun's guys, won a natty, then couldn't get those players in there like they used to, and now Hurley's doing it. I don't know, but coaches have a lot to do with it too. I mean, UCLA, John Wooden, right? They dominated. They won one national championship since all his titles with Herrick, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, again, you get that coach, you get the right coach. North Carolina's had the run of coach. Kansas has had the run of coaches. When you get those coaches, I mean, that makes all the difference in the world. Maybe Connecticut's also a little bit lucky when it comes to that.
After winning the national championship the first year of the AAC, they went to one other tournament in their time. In the other 6 years they were in the AAC. They got out of the AAC. They've gone to the tournament every year and won back-to-back national championships. Good. It's just those are just the facts. I'm not saying
right.
It's just interesting to consider that.
It is interesting.
Like when he says the AAC is a basketball killer, like literally it decimated the UConn program, and as soon as they got out, they start going to the tournaments and winning national championships. You need a tough, reliable tractor to tackle those tough chores, or go see the folks at Mid-South Ag Equipment for the Case IH Farm All Series of tractors. Versatile performers for whatever it is you need to get done, and a great value as well. They've got that full line there. They also have bush hog equipment, including the zero-turn lawnmowers, and much, much more. New equipment, used equipment, service on your equipment. They can do it all at Mid-South Ag Equipment. You can find them online at midsouthag.com, or you could go see them in person just south of Collierville on Goodman Road. If you take I-269 to the Goodman Road exit, they are just a half mile west. Very easy to go find the folks at Mid-South Ag Equipment.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You've been having a good time at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Olive Branch. Soon you'll be having a good time at a brand new Mugshots. Mugshots Grill and Bar is opening their first Tennessee location at 656 West Poplar in Collierville, where you can try one of Mugshots' 19 specialty burgers, including the Mugshot Burger. Finish it in 12 minutes and it's free, plus you get a free t-shirt. So cheers to great food, good drinks, and fun company at Mugshots Grill and Bar, where you're always having a good time.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles, ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Well, the Grizzlies have signed another player, and he's a musician. Jack White from the White Stripes has been signed. No, actually, just a guy named Jack White gets a 10-day contract. Also, the team signs guard Xavier Simpson to a second 10-day contract. It's the final week of the season for the Grizzlies. So, Jack White, does he become player 34 or 33? I'm going to count here, so talk among yourselves.
I think he's 33. I'm trying to see on this list if... Yeah, he's 33.
Yeah, you're right, 33. So 33 different players. More than two full, 15-man rosters when you think about it, plus three guys. White, 6'7", 225-pounder, appeared in 29 games for the South Bay Lakers, 23 starts. He averaged 9.6 points, 6.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists in 26.2 minutes. So, I know there's 11 starters out tonight, and I know Jake LaRavia and Lamar Stevens are doubtful. But, folks, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but I would buy a ticket tonight to go see the possibility that Jack White may play as the Grizzlies take on the San Antonio Spurs. No, Victor Wembanyama, if he's playing, and right now we think he is, right?
It's not listed on the injury report, so I assume he is.
He's worth the admission. Absolutely worth the admission. Grizzlies will play in Cleveland tomorrow. Lakers at home Friday. Nuggets at home on Sunday. And that is it. Mercifully. Over.
The again, I will maintain that I think Saturday night's starting lineup, very least one of the worst 10 starting lineups in the history of the NBA. These lineups they have right now would not win a G League championship.
No. And then we talked about the core four, right? Mike Conley's obviously still playing. You throw in Zebo, Tony Allen, Marc Gasol, and then throw in his brother Powell, who's right there on the stage with him. Throw those guys in. They destroy that team. I don't care. I don't care if TA's put on 10 pounds or whatever it is. My gosh. But it is what it is. All right. That'll do it for us today. I want to thank you folks for listening. Thanks for your calls, your texts. Very thought-provoking as far as that whole deal with UConn and Memphis. We appreciate that. I want to thank Connor O'Gara for joining us, Jeff Crane, and Mickey Barker. Again, as we start a new weekly golf segment every Tuesday, Mickey and friends will run through the end of the golf season, which is pretty much the end of the FedEx Cup playoffs. And then we'll say thank you, Mickey, for that, but we appreciate him joining us. Tomorrow, speaking of golf, it is Masters Week. Bob Herrig, author, has written a new book about Tiger Woods. We'll talk to him at 7:30. Jerry Palm at 8:25. He was at the national championship game. That's his alma mater, Purdue, that fell to Connecticut. We'll get his thoughts on what he saw. And then DeMichael Cole on the Grizzlies at 9:05. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is next. Dave is off. Brian Dacus and Zach Boyd will be in his stead. For Eli Savoy and for Zach, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.